Hello, everybody. Welcome to A Toy Kind of Mood. I forget which episode it is because this is my first time hosting. But joining me today, once again, I am KJ, aka Black Genghis. See, once again, I'm getting used to the whole host thing. But joining me is someone a bit more seasoned. We have Mr. Fabster 360 himself. How are you doing, sir?
What's up, dude? It's good to be on here with you again. I'm super excited to have one of my Mezco converts and have a conversation over here. And it'll be a nice kind of book ending as well, because the first time I came on here was for a Mezco thing. I think it was like a fall con or something.
Yeah.
Maybe even last summer's con. I don't remember, but here we are at another Mezco con, and there's tons of Mezco to talk about and tons of stuff to tempt you.
Yes, my Mezco collection has been grateful for your presence. My wallet has not. And I still remember when you first came on and you had talked about the difference between like Mezco's soft goods versus customizing a Hasbro Mattel style with paint and that kind of thing. Be like, yeah, if I want to customize, I just take it off. I just take off the clothes and put on something else. I'm like, okay, isn't it? And here I am, nearly a dozen and a half Mezco figures later. So, yeah, good job. Mez owes you a check for sure.
Glad to hear it.
But we are coming off on the heels of MezcoCon 2021 Summer Edition, which was coinciding with what would have been Comic-Con for right now. Comic-Con at home, second year in a row. Knock on wood, we're actually amongst the sweaty nerds once again with brighter days. But no, we're going to kick things off from preview night with Wednesday, following Thursday, day one, day two, and day three, Friday and Saturday. So one hell of a weekend. What was preview night? Oh, go ahead.
I'm just so thankful to Mezco for giving us the itinerary like a week ahead of time, so you'll know like at this hour we're gonna have the drops, and then from these hours you can chill and just watch the reveals. But they did manage to sneak in some surprises, which I'm very thankful for. But if anybody knows how to do this online con thing, I think Mezco is one of the best doing it for sure in terms of engagement, involvement. You know, they got stuff that's got you screen camping all day, whether it's to make sure you send the contest stuff, or you're waiting for somebody to like have the answer key for the crossword puzzle. Like all these activities and stuff really keep you engaged on the brand every day. So that was really hot of them. But you're right, it did kick off with a preview night of sorts, which is really our time, California, like 11 a.m. Preview night is when it starts, and that's when they drop the exclusive for the show, which they released a trailer and a review of leading up to the actual drop. And it was a new version of Gomez, Secret Agent Gomez Casino La Cucaracha Edition, which I could say that I called. There was some speculation just based on graphics alone that this could be like a James Bond style Gomez, which goes without saying because a lot of the Gomai are very James Bond-esque already. But this is a straight up like Casino Royale, white tux, red pocket square, the bow tie, knife,
the boot knife,
gadget watch. I mean, this is you've got the hoverboard, first of all, latent reference that I picked up on later, but it's called the Lotus V2 Hoverboard or something like that, which is a reference to James Bond's Lotus, which was like the transforming car that he had in one of the movies with like the wheel blades and everything, the guns that like shoot out of the headlights. So this hoverboard incorporates a lot of that stuff. A brand new
and it's kind of like the secret agent version of the Street Gomez hoverboard, right?
Exactly. A lot more things in there, a lot more gadgets for sure to kind of fit the James Bond theme. And then to go along with that, a souped up new Boom Boom, the boombox, which has like a rocket launcher feature. It's got a pull out like martini bar, kind of like a Tony Stark sort of weapons case. So really, really cool stuff. A lot of new things to go with this Gomez for a character that a lot of people are like, well, what's up with this thing, but with enough possibilities that even those people are like, oh, this is just a head swap away from being my perfect Sean Connery or Daniel Craig.
I really like the Gomez figures because you can either really get into those and just start collecting them, or you pop off the head and then you can use it for all sorts of different things. Ninjas, samurai, all kinds of things. You can have your Connery Bond, you can have your Daniel Craig Bond with this. You know where to go to get it painted, or pick up a blank head sculpt and do the painting yourself if you feel so inclined.
But I personally love the Gomez stuff, so I'm looking at it just examining every bit of the trailer, every bit of the lore, and seeing what new things like this. The box that it comes with, it's a big bundle box. It was $155 set. You get the Gomez figure exclusive. You get a brand new, for the first time seeing them since their original release, the Pink Skulls Chaos Club in a 5 points clubhouse set, which is super cool. It has their little hideout and everything. So that alone, a 5 point set and a 112 collective figure, you're getting the value of the set worth right there.
Yeah.
Plus, on top of that, they throw a full 52 card deck of cards with like graphics and stuff related to this Casino La Cucaracha thing. You get some new sticker packs. You get like a poker chip to commemorate the event. It's a whole thing. And
those sticker packs, they start have reveals of some of the new characters, right? Or characters we've seen before.
That's stuff that I look at and I'm like, ooh, these are teases of things to come and like references of things that have already come before. Like we've seen the giraffe head guy, Jeff O'Ray. In the, I think Roach with the Golden Head trailer. So there's some callbacks, but then, good of them to specifically call it out as like first look at some of these new characters. So definitely one of those like proof of concept things that Mezco likes to do where they put an idea out there, just kind of gauge the response. And then if there's enough heat behind it, they maybe start producing it, which is exactly what happened with the next day, because that was preview night. Cool. We were safe. The next day we thought it was just going to be enjoying the reveals. Yeah. And then we woke up day one, technically, of the actual con. Slugfest called us a lug nut, which I'm not convinced isn't an insult. He's calling us a lug nut and telling us that there's going to be a store drop in a few hours. Here's a new code to go with it, and it might come in handy. The code was, if you have the crypto cog, it was decoded to be brokers. The title of the email was Death Brokers Code. So it had people thinking like, oh, maybe the green tie Black Skull guys from the Secret Agent Gomez La Cucaracha trailer will actually get produced. I was on the fence of it of being like, it seems like something they could have just mocked up for the trailer again as a proof of concept type of thing. Yeah. But I think overnight, enough people, were really asking about it, and they already had this in the can. 3-pack of the Black Skulls Death Broker 265 set, 3 suited Black Skulls green ties. I mean, it's a great army builder set. What do you think? I think
doing it as a 3-pack was very smart, because I already got the 3. I got 3 of the Black Skull Death Brigade figures. They're amazing, and they go with anything. But if you're serious about it, you want 3. Bare minimum 3. And this was just a great value. It doesn't have all the weapons that Death Brigade has. So if you have all those, you of course use those with the Black Skull Death Brokers. And plus you have other figures that we'll be talking about later that will fit right in with going up against the Death Brokers. But I thought that was just a great value, and it's just very smart of Mezco to do that. Just all these little teases to get the hype, people looking for it, like paying attention, like, whoa, what's that? What's going on over there? Boom, there it is. It's like extremely intelligent marketing right there.
Yeah, I think they knew what they had with that, so they definitely leaned into it, and I'm thankful. As I was saying before, one of the complaints I had with the last Mezco event, which is the Toys Fair, is that there was just the one exclusive drop and then nothing else the rest of the show. So I'm glad that there was another, somewhat surprise drop. They didn't advertise it on their social media. It was just, you got the email, you got the, you knew to check the page on the time, but if you don't follow any of that, if you're not about the actual Mezco Rumble Society lore, it's something you could have very easily missed, which people who are into this stuff are kind of thankful for, because it kind of remains, their thing.
For the diehards, yeah.
For the diehards, for sure. Not something that is, if they put out Pink Skulls again, that's something everybody's going to want, for sure. But I think only the diehards are going to really be into the Black Skulls and building out a full Casino La Cucaracha universe,
That would be crazy. I think more people... as they become deeper into the lore, they get more invested into Mezcos, you're going to have more diehards, and that's going to allow Mez and his company to make more of these and to really increase the scope of the culture that they're trying to build here. But no, let's go ahead and go into day one.
Right, that was just the exclusive. That was just the drop.
Just exclusive, just preview night. And, everybody wants the 112 collectives. But what's really cool about Mezco is, yes, you have the 5-point set that's just loving tributes to anime or Sentai, classic strips like Popeye, that kind of stuff, the Warriors, right? And then you have the Living Dead dolls, right? So, like, there's all these other really cool bits and pieces that just show off art and style. So what kicked off day one on Thursday?
Right, so the first reveal on day one, while people were distracted doing the Hazard Squad scramble and trying to get their pre-order for these death brokers, Mezco started dropping some reveals on their social media. The first of which was a Living Dead Dolls set of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. So you're getting the 3 Silver Shamrock Mask trick-or-treaters, the witch, the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern, and the skeleton. So these are cool, cute little guys. If you're into the Living Dead Dolls, these are going to fit right in. I mean, they have Mezco beyond the 112 Collective. They know what they're doing with soft goods. So these Living Dead Dolls are, if you've got a goth girlfriend who might be into this stuff, this is quite the gift for them.
Yeah, you can skip Bath and Body Works. You can go ahead and get some of these. Right. And then, but our first 112 Collective figure had the interwebs a bit of a buzz. We had Gotham's by Gaslight Joker.
That's right.
Which is pretty intense. So what's going on with this character right here?
Well, this is an interesting choice simply because the Gotham by Gaslight, run or like singles, whatever the comic was, it was a very short, limited thing. And it was about Batman hunting down Jack the Ripper in actual like Victorian times. So there was no real like Gotham by Gaslight rogues gallery. It was more like conceptual stuff that people, it's like, what if there were, this is what they might look like. And one of the key kind of inspirations for the look of this Joker that Mezco seems to have gone with is the original The Man Who Laughs 1920s silent film that the Joker original comic art is based on. So it's coming around full circle. And I think they did a really good job. Again, this is something that people have like interpreted, like, oh, if there was a Victorian era Joker, it might be more Man Who Laughs kind of oriented. And then there was maybe a wanted poster in one of the comics or in an image somewhere. And it seems like Mezco took that concept and just ran with it, giving us the full, high-waisted pants, suspenders, the short little tie, the coat. He's got a top hat and glasses. And then he's got that Man Who Laughs signature smile, something a little more toned down, in terms of a Joker, but with that kind of real world realism where if you actually saw a man smiling as this, you would still be afraid.
Yeah, you wouldn't go down that alley, but it's definitely going to look great with the up and coming Batman Gotham by Gaslight.
Right, and this is coming very soon. As of today's recording, this is dropping on tomorrow, the 26th of July. So this is probably one of the fastest reveals at a con and then immediate pre-order drop.
Yeah,
in just a few days, really. So that's coming again as of today, tomorrow, but it'll be the 26th of July. Up for pre-order, and it as a Mezco exclusive, just like Gotham by Gaslight Batman was.
No, it's really satisfying not to have to wait torturously on getting some of these great figs. Yeah. But moving right along, we got a debut of the 5 Points Ultra 7 and Alien Metreon box set. I used to watch Ultraman when I was a kid, all throughout the different eras, like the old school 60s, some of the 90s stuff they brought back. So like the 5 Point stuff is like, just enough to get your beak wet, like if you're not trying to get like a whole bunch of SH Figure Arts Ultraman, you can sort of get like a little fun retro style set. But usually the 5 Point sets, they come with some pretty cool stuff, right?
Yeah, and they're specifically calling this a box set, and the last Ultraman box set with Red King, which was the regular first Ultraman, and then a monster called Red King. That
kind of looked like Godzilla a little bit almost.
Yeah, a little bit. It was like a Michelin Man Godzilla almost. And he came with a full, kind of backdrop and like a little diorama floor piece, so it looks like they're fighting in the mountains. From the backdrop of this, looks like they're kind of fighting like at sunset and like the outskirts of the city. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a similar thing, a backdrop and like a little foreground diorama piece.
But yeah, we had some pop-up buildings. That'd be pretty choice.
Exactly, and you are getting that with the 112 Ultraman release of regular Ultraman, not this Ultra 7. But this just proves that they have the Ultraman license. They're going to go pretty deep with it. They're giving you the 5 Point sets with a different Ultraman and a different monster each time. And if they're doing all these different Ultramans, then it just kind of says, oh, well, it's just a matter of time before we get Ultra 7 and 112.
Yeah. And once you get all that, it's going to be a bodacious display. It's got me salivating. But speaking of which, one of my white whales, and one of those I never thought it would happen. So like Mezco releasing the Flash in their Snyder Cut box set, or the Black Suit Superman that I tried to will into the universe, and it worked.
And you did them both at the same time. I don't know how you did that.
It's just, I think a lot of fans just really respond to like Mezco's finger on the pulse of it, right? Because this one up and coming next, I've been waiting for a long time, ever since I found out about Mezco toys. So, Fabio, please do the honors of debuting this.
I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, a lot of people on the same boat as you. We got 112 Collective Dick Tracy, both an announcement of the license and a couple of characters revealed. Of course, you got the man himself in the yellow trench coat and hat, iconic, looking sick, and one of his rogue gallery. We got Flat Top with just the most glorious unibrow you've ever seen. But yeah, this is super exciting. A lot of people on the same boat as you, definitely like looking at Dick Tracy and his rogues and thinking, yeah, this is a no-brainer for Mezco in terms of how you pull this off with clothes. It's gangsters, essentially. It's 1920s, 30s gangsters and detectives, cops and robbers, whatever. And then, just some color pops to make them more colorful and comic book-esque. And then obviously the crazy, exaggerated, character designs. But for the most part, you've again, no-brainer. This is another suited character in a trench coat. They do them so well.
Yeah, it's a promising sign of things to come. Like if Homeboy's doing Solomon Kane, he can do Dick Tracy, he can do any number of things.
Yep. I'm almost curious to see if they'll try to go toe-to-toe with NECA on some of these King Features licenses. What if we see a Phantom or Flash Gordon from Mezco in the future? I'd be into that. Yeah,
I will donate my NECA figures to a toy drive if Mezco came out. I mean, I'll take what I can get. But they one of the things I do like about what Mezco does with their contests, their giveaways, is that it's just a rabbit hole that gets people deeper into the lore, right? So like we had the Baron's Tectonic Tracker and trying to find these Aquaticons. I'm looking at all these great figures, like, Gomez, Clan of the Golden Dragon, and Lone Roach and Grub, and like all these great figures. I'm like, look at the detail, look at the work, where I'm just like skipping by it because I'm not plumbing other things that are just been sold out for.
It's such a tease. Right? They all say sold out, they all say waitlist, but they'll never get fulfilled. I mean, I feel that it was definitely a smart contest, the Tectonic Tracker. I figured just because they're not going to splice in their own IP into like some Marvel or DC product. I kind of could tell like they're probably not going to do that. So all the, the answers, all the photos that they're going to send you down to find these things, probably going to be on the Rumble Society page or on the Slugfest page or whatever. And that in and of itself is a crazy rabbit hole of like, wow, I can't believe I missed this stuff. We had Ron looking through, right? Our good friend Ron. He's looking on at the old Gomez's and he's like, man, it's sold out. It's like, well, I mean,
yeah, you sort of get used to it.
They've been sold out. We're not talking about Agent Gomez. We're talking about secret Agent Gomez, the one that's not even out yet.
Yeah, you're not going to go to the electronics section in Target and find that Lone Roach and Grub.
I felt so bad. I'm like, I hope we didn't make Ron just think you could like just go on here and buy them. It's not that simple.
Living that Mezco life, it can be frustrating. I think we lost one of the fold because of the returns of the Baker's Dozen, but
on that
later.
Yeah.
A shout out to Doom 58 on YouTube. You can, if you're into Magic the Gathering, check out our buddy Ron Bertles on his YouTube channel where he's cracking packs. But anyway, let's go ahead and keep things going, man. It's Friday.
Day two, baby. It kicks
you ain't
off.
Got no job. You ain't got nothing to do. Well, hopefully y'all do got jobs. It's a good market out there. So
not on Fridays.
Okay.
Not on MezcoCon weekend.
Man, okay. So we're kicking it off. 5 points. Popeye. And who's this guy?
Bulo Oxheart.
Is this straight from the movie, or is this like an established character from the comic strip? Because I remember the movie. I remember him fighting somebody in the movie, but like,
yeah, it's definitely an homage to a scene from the movie. Whether it's a character from the original strip, the original comic, I'm not entirely sure. I know I look it, but I'm not that big of a Popeye. I do think they're the Mezco interpretations and the 112 have been some of their best figures by far.
Yeah.
I just can't say I'm that deep into the lore where I see myself, trying to get every 5 point set. But, if it comes with a boxing ring like we're seeing right here, they might have enough to again, entice me. They're doing a great job with all these 5 point sets lately. Warriors had the Subway. they got the Superman one with the Fleischer
Oh
Superman
yes,
robot and the full, evil lair. You have the first Popeye set that was a 4-pack with the restaurant and an exterior and everything. Like, they're doing a great job with these sets, but again, they can be pricey. I mean, $50 to $100 sometimes.
So if you like that format, that style, I would say definitely get it. Mezco's one of the best doing it right now.
Yeah.
But once again, a lot of fans, they're here for the 112 collective, and we had something really special for Friday. So please walk us through that as well.
Man, this one turned some heads for sure. It even got some people who specifically said, "I'm done with Mezco forever," and then this got shown, and they're like, "Okay, well maybe this." Yeah. And it is the 112 collective Spider-Man 2099.
Yes.
The yellow era is coming, baby. And
yes.
What a great job they did with this one. I mean, at least from the photos we're seeing here, I feel like this will be on the sooner end of when we get the pre-order window for it.
Okay.
Just because just how finished it already kind of looks in the photos. This doesn't look particularly photoshopped in any way. This looks like a real suit, looks like the real textures. I think they're pretty close to completion on this one. And I think they did such a good job matching the texture of the suit to the texture of the head. He's got that little very tiny like hexagon or octagon pattern in there.
Yeah, it looks like it came right from like a movie costume fitting or something like that. Like, that's the level of detail we're looking at right here.
Straight up, it looks like a basketball too.
Yeah.
It very much looks like it has that detailing on it and that texturing, and it looks great. Good pop of blue, a good pop of red. I mean, this looks fantastic. I'm curious to see the accessories. Hopefully we get an unmasked head. No Mezco comic Spider-Mans have come with unmasked heads so far, only the MCU ones. So hopefully we'll get something. I mean, if anything, that's just another reason for them to do a 2.0 classic Spider-Man, for sure.
It'd be really interesting to see if he can pull that off, of popping it off, having the texture clothing covering the neck piece. You pop that out, and then you can still have another neck piece for the head. There's a lot that he can do with that. This next one,
it also goes to show that they're going pretty deep with the Spider-Man suits and everything. They did a round of classic, and then black suit Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and then they did a Miles, and then the last
Ghost Spider.
The Ghost Spider, or Spider-Gwen if you're nasty.
Ooh.
And I know. And now we got Miguel. So this just goes to show, like, they're probably going to give you a good amount of these iconic Spider-Man suits, not necessarily just Peter Parker. If they start giving us some Ben Reilly, I'm here for it.
Oh yeah.
And Scarlet Spider would slap so hard. If they give us, Ben Reilly Spider-Man, where he's got kind of that classic Spider-Man like netting suit, but in that own kind of remix way with the big spider and everything, like, I'll take it, sure. But
I'm pulling for spider armor. I want spider armor. If Mezco can pull it off, if he can beat Hasbro to the punch, they're taking their sweet ass time at Hasbro. But Mez, if you can hear me, spider armor, man, just set it off.
No complain if that doesn't have as much articulation. It'll just be so sick.
Yeah. I think Sentinel's doing a Penny Parker and Spider, but I think their Penny Parker is non-articulated. So
no, it's a static piece.
But Mezco, if he can do an articulated Penny Parker, like that would a lot of Spider fans would sing his praise. Let's put it that way.
Definitely. I mean, we're thinking if we're going, Spider-Verse, Spider Noir would be like amazing.
I thought they already did. I thought he has the Spider Noir.
No, there's no Spider-Man Noir yet. No.
I am imagining things. Okay.
No. That's purely up fabrication in your head.
Okay.
So if they do that, again, no one's gonna get mad about the fact that he can't, get down on all fours and crawl if he's got a sick trench coat.
I'm surprised he hasn't done that already. It has to be in the works.
I think that'll be a whole program. We'll get just a whole year of Marvel Noir.
Yeah.
That'd be worth it. It'd be great for Mezco for sure.
Right up his stop.
That's right.
This next one right here, though.
This one's all you.
Yeah, I have been holding it down for Mezco Joe's ever since we got the reveal of Destro. I can't believe it's happening. I've been Joe hunting for the last year and a half, racing the virus, desperate to free these figures from behind enemy lines on Cobra Island. And with all the headaches that it comes with ordering a Mezco figure, I'll take it over these damn Cobra Island figures. Like it has not eased up until recently, but right now we have B112 Collective G.I. Joe Firefly. We only have one image right now, but it is very promising. Looking at the sculpt, the level of details, the facial scarring near the eyes, looking at the camo work,
so good.
And just even looking at the buckles. I'm actually a fan of the current Cobra Island Firefly sculpt. You know, I don't mind the EOD vest. I know a lot of people do, but this will be closer to that classic look. A lot of the classified series figures come with vests that really prevent them from a lot of posing that get in the way of the articulation that the base figure already has. So you have to cut off Firefly's vest. You have to cut off Flint's vest. You have to cut that. You will not have that problem with Mezco's Firefly. It is very promising, and it left me salivating. I'm salivating now. Like, it's like, between that and then Dick Tracy the day before, it's like I might have to put up a mutual fund just so I can keep getting all these different Mezco figures. Fabio, what did you think about Firefly, man?
I think this is great. Obviously, I'm not as big of a G.I. Joe guy as you, but if there was a format that I was going to take them in, I mean, I'm so glad it's 112. It's militarized dudes. It's soft goods, you know, flak jackets with armor plates and web gear and harnesses on top. I mean, it's perfect.
And accessories he's going to come with. It's like C4, dynamite, like all kinds of crazy stuff. We look at the stuff that's coming with Roadblock. Look at the fun gadgets that Destro has. It's like it just keeps getting better and better. And this is before we even touch the ninjas.
And good on them for not leading with your Dukes and your Cobra Commanders and your Snake Eyes. I think this was really bold of them to, you know, go with these kind of side characters, at least for now, and then give you that background of the universe built up and then move forward from there.
Yeah. Piece by piece, bit by bit. Closing it off with day 2, we had the Black Skull's Cyber Search. So a lot of these.
Actually, this was the Pink Skulls presents the Spine Snapping Scrimmage.
Yes, on Instagram.
Yeah. So you would go on Instagram and you would have an Instagram story vote between 2 Rumble Society characters, and then they would show you who would win each one. But while as interesting as that is, what we're really here for is that they tease not 1 but 2 new Rumble Society character variants. Yes. Characters we have already, but new variants of them that we're seeing for the first time. First, we had Nosferatu Symphony of Horror, I believe. Symphony of Terror?
I think so, yeah.
I should probably have that.
And one of the first Mezco things I ever saw was their trailer for that Nosferatu. And that really caught my attention. Foosh was showing it off. And I was like, oh, what's this? What, Mezco? What's that? So it's like, just once again, going into that cool horror style.
They thought they could just sneak that in, but everybody
no one's paying
right
attention.
Away. Yeah. Immediately they were like, not even from the photo, from the character roster at the bottom, the character select screen, they were like, whoa, what's up with these 2 guys right here? So yeah, it was Nosferatu Symphony of Horror, right? And then Doc Nocturnal Red Death.
Yes, I believe on the ACBA podcast, and subscribe for those if you haven't already. You refer to it as this Eddie Murphy Delirious.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That's a lot of hot red leather.
Yeah, it's gonna have Doc Nocturnal doing stand up. With his raunchiest material. But anyway, I love that Mezco keeps giving you these little bits and pieces to keep chasing, because it just makes it more fun. It's not like, if you don't want to do it, you're going to overlook it. But if something that engages you like that ties you deeper into the lore, and becomes a bit more rewarding, and that's
again for as far as building the lore. Now we know Doc Nocturnal and Nosferatu are nemesis. So we always knew Doc Nocturnal was a vampire hunter or a monster hunter of some kind, but now we know that he's had run-ins with Nosferatu, and this also further cements Nosferatu as not just, if Rumble Society as a whole is the Mortal Kombat or let's say the Soul Calibur roster.
Okay, yeah.
Then Nosferatu is the PS4 exclusive guest character. I mean? Like he is part of the roster. He is 100%. But he's of course a what do they call it when it's in the public domain? It's a public domain character. Yeah. So they can put him in wherever he wants. And Nosferatu, I think, has kind of been grandfathered into the Rumble Society. There was a kind of hesitation as to whether or not he's a full-fledged member.
I think this makes it official, right?
That's it.
Yeah. And sort of like their version of Blade and Dracula.
Right. And it's so weird because none of this stuff should really matter, but the branding is so important. Like, for example, this new Gomez set that was exclusive on preview night is the first Gomez to have Rumble Society references on its package, specifically saying Rumble Society presents, Gomez in Casino La Cucaracha or whatever. So it's these are the things that we conspiracy theorists for Mezco look for to kind of like see where the brand is going and how they're kind of bringing everything in house and under the same banner. It's all
it's a strengthening of the brand.
Definitely.
Because they unveiled the rumblesociety.com sort of like a 2.0 or a 3.0, right? So it's like,
so yeah, you can go on rumblesociety.com and just get all the lore in one place, all the character bios, each of their videos, and just really immerse yourself in that. And it's also set up like choose your fighter kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
They're definitely playing into that as well.
Yeah.
So that was the end of day 2.
Yes, day 3 had a very big reveal to start things off. We're looking at Godzilla, an 18-inch version, complete with light up dorsal fins, light up mouth, realistic plastic eyes, the sounds, like the actual sounds from the movie. But
I know the automatopoeia for it, but who can actually say that?
Well, we're seeing a lot of big figures coming out right now. We got the HasLab Galactus. We got the Sentinels that were before it. So with this one, 18 inches tall, what do you think will be the price point for this, for Godzilla fans, for Mezco fans?
This one is interesting just because, again, there are a lot of big figures coming out. And I feel like in such a short time, this has become a very small figure. Because the Sentinel is going to be like, what, 26 inches or whatever?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And Galactus now is built at 32.
Yeah, 32.
So 18 is a respectable size for sure. But now it's like, well, that's not that it ever could pass as this, but if I want a big figure, I kind of want it to pass as 1/12 scale almost. Like I kind of want, if I want a big Godzilla like this, I kind of want it to be almost real Godzilla scale, which is impossible, right? It'd be like 3 feet tall or something. It'd be massive. Maybe probably 6 feet tall actually. But I think this is cool, and I'm interested in it because I've wanted the King Kong for a while. They did a King Kong Skull Island, again, public domain license kind of thing. So they did 2 versions in a 6-inch scale, black and white and regular, and then they did a giant 18-inch ultimate Kong of Skull Island, and it was a little less articulation, same general sculpt though, and just that massive size of it. So that is something I've always kind of thought about that I've wanted, and that retailed for, I want to say 200 to 225, maybe 250 depending on the retailer. I don't remember the original MSRP, but if that's what that King Kong is hovering at least 250. I mean, this Godzilla with lights and sounds and everything, I mean, it's got to be closer to 300. No question. 300
with all those extra bits. Yeah.
So, but that right away has got me thinking like, wow, do I really want to spend $600 on 2 giant figures? I don't know. I mean, I don't have that King Kong yet, so there's definitely no obligation for me to get this Godzilla.
Yeah, especially if you already have the Mezco Fantastic Four set, and you're going to get that HasLab Galactus to go along with it, which would be sick. But damn, that is a car payment on a Maserati.
That's right,
basically.
So but hey, I think it's beautiful. I think it's great. I don't 100% know that I'll get it. I love the fact that it exists and it's available.
Yeah,
I think if I were a bigger Godzilla collector, I would have a bigger Godzilla to collect like this.
Yeah. The kaiju fans and Godzilla fans are out there, and I think they're really gonna appreciate this one. Now, this next figure that's being teed up, I think last year they had an LDD, not of this exact character, but definitely from the same franchise.
Yeah, from the
Silent Hill 2. Yeah, Pyramid Head, with a looks like a real metal headpiece and gory rusted decaying blade and blood spattered clothes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not nightmare fuel at all.
Nah, man. I mean, you see this guy this is the orderly at the hospital where your grandma is in intensive care. And you're like, no, yeah, come on in. Grammy needs your help. No, I mean, Silent Hill is a crazy, crazy franchise. I can't say that I'm a huge, huge fan of it. I was never really into horror games too much growing up. So this is one that I didn't, I don't have that personal connection to. But there's no question that this is just one of the coolest designs in horror. I mean, this is an iconic design, an iconic character. And I think what Mezco's doing here with it is pretty cool. Probably incorporating a little bit new like articulation for the arms is, when I'm seeing a new thing, even though it's not for me, I'm kind of looking at it to see like where does it work for me, or where it can be used in the future. And from here, just from these two images, which are, to contrast with the Spider-Man 2099, which looks very crisp, very like real photography, looks like it might be close to completion. Definitely a lot of Photoshop with this one, and a lot of like effects to kind of hide any inconsistent details or whatever. So, we'll see how that all turns out. But from the stuff that is real, I'm seeing like new arms that, could be reused in the future.
Okay.
These big new boots, a lot of good stuff going on here for sure. And, Mezco has gotten better with their blood application effects. And this is going to be like the culmination of it for sure. Like this is going to be a bloody beast.
Yeah. Outside of NECA and Mezco, I can't really think of anyone else doing horror figs at this level right now. But let's brighten the mood a little bit. Let's go ahead and take it all the way back. We're seeing 1996 Batman get a lot of love between Farland Toys, Jita Toys, and now this MDS Mega Designer Scale bobblehead figures. So this is a 2-pack. Late great Adam West and of course Burt Ward as Batman and Robin. What are the appeal of these MDS figures with Mezco fans?
I mean, it's interesting. I like them. Like, I think they're well done. I don't know that they're for me. I've casually looked at the Michael Keaton one just because, like, with the 112 one coming, I'm like, oh, it might be nice to have like a little extra little Keaton display,
Yeah.
But it's Mezco Designer Series, so it is what it is. It is Mezco doing a designer version of these characters, and by designer, we're talking like, actual like designer art toys, like Sofubi kind of stuff, like, very exaggerated, very like deformed proportions. There's those famous, toys, those vinyl toys of it's like Mickey Mouse or like cereal mascots or whatever, but they're like bisected and you see all their like skeletons and guts inside or whatever. I'm sure you've seen that. I feel like this is in that same world. It's a designer toy, exaggerated proportions. It's just meant to, you look at it and you're a little creeped out by it, but it is a little cute at the same time. The sculpting is fantastic. I mean, Michael Keaton is like has the craziest lips you've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But this Adam West chin might be up there with some of the better detailing I've seen on that stuff. And these are like about 6-inch scale. So I mean, if you're, the proportions don't fuck with you, then maybe some of the the charm of it will.
Yeah. If you don't mind creeping out your cube mates, for those lucky enough and safe enough to return to their offices.
Yeah. But you're not wrong. I mean, Batman 66 is everywhere right now. I don't know who at Warner Brothers is like, get it out there, pump it out.
make them remember that they care.
Yeah.
But it was really just to get our beaks wet for what is arguably the biggest reveal from anyone who had been following Mez and in his mindset, the way that his mind works is that he's not the biggest fan of a certain character. Like with Batman, he's got the Batman Sovereign Knight, Supreme Knight, dozens of figures.
Literally a dozen Batmans. I have 12 Batmans of like the Mezco Batmans spread out across, the 3 incarnations of that Batman.
Yeah.
And it's just, we've been waiting. We've done every other Rogue. We've done, even Commissioner Gordon. And yet,
with the bat signal, it's crazy.
Right. And yet conspicuous by his absence is none other than the final
the Boy Wonder
reveal. That's right. Robin
the 112 collective Robin. I never thought I would see the day that Mez was like, here, it's got the light shining in the sky. when I saw this, I didn't believe it. It's like, yeah, that's a fan. That's a fan shop. That's Boss Logic having some fun. So what exactly does this mean for long-term fans of Mezco toys that they're finally releasing a 112 Collective Robin?
I can tell you it means a lot to everybody who already destroyed the 112 Collective like Stealth Monkey figure and threw some like Robin goods on it and a Robin head and Robin accessories. You know, a lot of customizers out there are weeping right now because their hard work has been made null and void. Now, again, this is literally just a graphic, like a GIF image. We're not seeing the figure. This is, I think, the farthest from completion of anything that they've shown and teased in this whole show. So, you know, this is still a ways off, but it's huge. It's a huge announcement because I don't think Mez necessarily caved to pressure, but there's definitely been a very, very, very high demand for Robin, you know, from the early outset of when they started their Batman trilogy, you know, Ascending Knight. Okay, well, he's first year Batman, you know, maybe not necessarily with Robin, right? By the time we got to Sovereign Knight, it was like, okay, this is prime Batman. Where is Robin? Okay, so definitely people have been waiting for it for a while. From the logo here, a lot of people are guessing this is going to be a Damian Wayne Robin, which would be very interesting. And to just kind of explain the Mez and Robin thing, he explained it in an interview where everyone thought that, you know, the big quote was like, Mez hates Robin, right? He's like, listen, I don't hate Robin. I just don't get Robin. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense for, in his world, in his view of Batman, you know, Rumble Society, you know, roaches and anthropomorphic animals and all that stuff, notwithstanding. In Mez's world view of Batman, he sees Batman as, okay, he's this dude who goes out in the middle of the night dressed in pitch black and militarized gear. He beats up criminals. He locks up the criminally insane. And as a counterpoint to that, I think I should dress this kid up in primary colors and take him out with me. Like, there's just a weird thing for him there. Like, I think the joke that I've been making is I think he might be a little bit more okay with the whole child soldier thing if we make it Damian and it's his son and he's been training him. Right. So eventually, maybe now he can reconcile that. Okay. So it's exciting. I can't say that Damian is like the Robin that I've been waiting for, but I'm happy we're getting one for sure. Perfect world, I would get a 90s Jason Todd with the green sleeves and the long green tights, you know, the black boots, that kind of basic look to him. Or we get Tim Drake in the red and black.
Okay, yeah.
Those are my two like tops in that order. But again, Damian, he's gonna come with swords. He's gonna come with like more like weapons rather than just batter or, you know, Robin rangs or whatever. It's an exciting prospect for sure. And like with any Mezco, I just want to see how they do it. Like what could they come up with that we're not even thinking of, you know?
Well, it could be Dark Knight Returns. It could be Carrie. It could be one of the newer Robins, Stephanie Brown, if I'm not mistaken with that. But whatever it is, he's going to go to town on it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It'll be interesting to see how that shapes up. Yeah. So closing out, what won the Mezco Con 2021 for you? Everyone knows it's Firefly for me. With Dick Tracy, a very close second. I know tied. I'm just going to call those a tie.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. I mean, it would be foolish to say anything other than Robin, just because it's been such a long time coming. It's definitely the thing that, you know, got me. I was doing something and I knew the update was coming, so I check it on the hour and I'm like, what? No way! You know, I'm still up alone in my house. So it was definitely a big surprise. I was happy to see it. As far, I mean, again, that's just a teaser, so I can't really say that, you know, I'm super excited for it because, you know, I don't really know what it looks like yet. The idea of it is exciting, but as far as stuff we've seen, I think Spider-Man 2099 looks beautiful. Just sharp, striking, badass. You know, he's hitting all the right notes for me for sure.
Yeah, that's probably going to come in time for the Spider-Verse sequel. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Can we talk disappointments a little bit too?
Sure. We can go ahead and go with those. What was lacking with this Mezco Con this year, this iteration?
I feel like they were a little short on the reveals. Like we got maybe 4 max per day in terms of like the actual scheduled reveals, where I feel like in the past cons they would do like 6 or so, you know?
Yeah, I remember there being a lot on top of each other. The Green Ranger, the Crow. Like I was amped I still have like a wish list on my computer left over from that last con.
Right. Yeah. So they addressed that one concern I had last time, which was not enough opportunities to spend money. They gave me more of that, but less reveals this time. And then there was some stuff that we've been waiting to kind of hear more about that I wish we had seen something of.
Just updates.
Exactly. Like back at actual physical in-person Toy Fair 2020, the press got the little brochure with all, the accessory spreads. That's where we first saw that flash before we ever saw it again until the 3-pack. And in there, they showed that they had just the graphic, like the logo of Black Widow Marvel Studios. We didn't see any of that. And I thought with the movie now being out and the product from every other company have literally, just been rotting at store shelves, I thought at this point it would have been the time to see whatever product they have from MCU Black Widow. So hopefully that doesn't mean that it's been canceled. Hopefully it doesn't mean that it's, they're not going to do it anymore.
That's the way it goes sometimes. There's a lot of pending licensor approval that goes on, right? I'm not saying that, it's the boulevard of broken dreams, but I'm still pining for that 112 Batman versus Superman Batmobile that will never be released. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't be able to afford, not unless I just stop collecting everything else. But that Batmobile looks so sweet that it was worth it. Getting Flash out of development hell, getting the black suit Superman shut me up from a lot of other things that I wanted out of Mezco toys. And even though I didn't really get anything epic like that, like the Crow, like the Green Ranger, just how mind-blowing the last that first, I believe that was Toys Fair that was probably dropped all those, right? So there's still probably a fall edition that's coming up. More collectors than ever, people rediscovering their love and passion for it, and over the last year and a half where they've had time to think, let's put it that way. So maybe he's playing the long game and just saving some of those diamonds and pearls for a later edition but I feel you on that. I wouldn't say that this was light, because my wallet is happy that it was light and be like, there's only like 2 things I want. That's great. So yeah, I feel you on that. What would you say we use whiskeys here at Geeks Have Gain, a toy kind of mood. What whiskey score would you give summer edition 2021?
It's gonna be a solid 4 for me. Activities were fun. Like reveals were a little bit light. I'll say maybe 4.25, just because we got the extra drop. You know what though? But I'm gonna bump it back down to 4 because these were all pre-order drops. So we're not gonna have any of this stuff. We don't have the excitement of getting the thing and then it'll be shipped next week. Right. We still got to wait a little bit for it. So, that tempers my excitement a little bit. I'm going to give it a solid 4. I still think it was a great show. Activities, again, were great. The reveals for what they showed were good. I just wish there were more of them. And I'm just excited for the next con because, as you say, even though this is, again, seeming a little light, I think this is just a small little, preview of the next few months. And then come fall, we'll get a big blowout of the next, few months until Toys Fair, which is the next year.
Yeah, well, next February. I think I'm going to give this a 4.5. I was over the moon with Dick Tracy and Flat Top.
Yeah.
But then Firefly, I had to go change once I saw that Firefly reveal. It's like, okay, like I'm here for all this. A lot of the new Mezco stuff that's coming my way is going to arrive 2022. That gives me time to plan for everything else. But I gotta start building up that money bin right now, because like I probably have like a Tesla worth of Mezco pre-orders between now and then. So I need to.
When Michael Valladay showed us his pre-orders page,
God,
who we miss dearly and should be here for this episode.
We're gonna catch him in the next go round, definitely. But thank you for turning me and him into Mez heads, Fabio. For those of you that are still paying attention, you can find this gentleman at Fabster 360 on YouTube, and where else?
Fabster 360 on Instagram, and just Fabster here on YouTube. Streaming Mezco content weekly, talking this crazy Mezco game, putting the pieces together so you don't have to. You can just sit back and enjoy.
All right. And also shout out to the ACBA squad. I think they have a new IG out.
That's right.
ACBA_podcast.
That's right.
On Instagram. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. And we just over on boog_ACBA here on YouTube. We do the ACBA podcast every Saturday. and it's a great time. We came back after episode 150 with a new intro. It's been getting a lot of buzz.
Yes,
so just go check that out.
Yes. And also, you can catch my man Fabio here on Mezco Mondays or 112 Tuesdays.
That's right.
Just depending on how that drip is. As for myself, you can find me on Instagram at Black Genghis, where I am trying on a daily basis to up my customization game and dioramas. I hope you enjoy. And as always, repping a toy kind of mood. You can find us always here on Geeks Have Game at YouTube, and also a toy kind of mood on Instagram as well. Fabio, thank you very much for joining us. As always, it's always great times and just plussing the collection that's ever growing, mountainous. Still, I got a lot of catching up to do with you, sir. Those details, I can't find them.
KJ. Thank you for having me, man. It was a lot of fun. Great catching up.
Yeah, man. All right, y'all. Take care, and don't forget to leave a little bit in your account for those pre-orders. All right.
That's right.
All right, man.
And like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Hell yeah.
Yes. Like and subscribe.